Why is coaching one of the most important things in breaking in the future years? And how to do it properly? Today we dig deeper in the knowledge drop. Focus. Hey yo, welcome to the knowledge drop by BBOY.com. I got a special guest today, my man Dziri, all the way from Belgium, and we're gonna dig deeper into coaching. Can you first off introduce yourself?
My name is Dziri, also known as B-Boy Dziri, full name Alexander Dziri, part of Team Shmetta, the main organizer together with my man Jabel of Raw Circles. Worked for a while at a media company called London Real, a big interview podcast, and transitioned there into coaching, mostly business coaching and also some personal development coaching.
Dope. Maybe we define coaching next. What is coaching compared to, for example, traditional teaching or teaching workshops, or maybe the stereotype that we see American football coach with a loud voice and a lot of adrenaline pushing people real hard? How do you see coaching?
Yes, so I would define coaching as a coach supports someone in a transformation. So a coach is somebody who will, together with somebody else, the coachee, hold the vision to what the coachee wants to achieve and then help them in that future vision to achieve it, to guide them, to give them potential knowledge or pitfalls to avoid. But mostly it's about the coachee, and the coach is there to listen, because the coachee already knows what he or she wants to achieve. So all they really need is support and for the coach to listen, because most people don't know what they're thinking until they say it. So what a coach does is creates a space for the coachee to come in and then talk, so that they will most probably come to the realization or the clarity of what it is that they want to do. Most people think when they come to a coach that the coach is going to tell them what to do. That's usually what they have in mind, because usually you go to a coach because that coach has gone through some type of transformation or achieve something that you want to achieve as well. So you think like, oh, maybe I want to be a top B-boy, or I want to be a big time entrepreneur. So let me go talk to a big time entrepreneur or top B-boy and let me listen to what that person has to say, so they'll tell me what to do. But actually, great coaching is you talk to somebody as a coach, you listen, and the coachee is actually coming to you, not necessarily for the knowledge, although they're coming for that. They're usually actually just coming for the permission to go out and do the thing that they want to do. And if you create that space and you can get the other person to talk, then usually they will get to the clarity and they already know what they need to do. Most people already know what they need to do, but a coach can guide them in that way.
Breaking is getting more and more professional year by year, and we're heading towards bigger and bigger stages. How and why do you see that we need more coaching in the following years?
Yes. So we're all moving through change. We all want to move ahead faster. And obviously you can evolve faster and go quicker if you have somebody next to you who has already done the work and is helping you to accelerate in your success. If you just do it by yourself, just imagine looking at a B-boy tape, and you see a windmill and you're like, okay, I'm going to try to do the windmill. And you're somewhere in a room and then you practice for years, and all the little techniques and things to do, somebody has already done that for you. So it's better that you have somebody who can help you. Now, we're used to, in the breaking world, when we go to a workshop, we're always used to the teacher kind of a perspective. You come in and then the B-boy will usually show some drills, some techniques, something that the B-boy himself has developed, and just teaching it to you. The opposite now is, as a coach, what you want to do is you want to come in and you're there to listen and understand what it is that the coachee wants to achieve, and you're creating a space where you can just give them time to unveil what is it that they want to do. And this is very different, because most of us actually don't have this in our life. So most people don't have somebody that will listen to you for 60 minutes without saying anything, just there to have you move forward to where it is that you want to go. Even our spouse or our partner is usually not that interested in hearing us talk for 60 minutes. So having somebody experienced who has already gone through all the things that you want to do and just be there just for you to listen and get you to the next level, it's almost a no-brainer. It's just that most people don't understand that that's what a coach is. They think, well, I don't need a coach, because they're imagining that it's a teacher. But if you have somebody who's really there to help you, to move you forward, obviously you're going to move forward a lot quicker. Coach also helps you see blind spots. You usually don't see always what it is that you need to move towards. And a coach can have a perspective, can see you more objectively, and can say, hey, maybe you can do this, or have you thought about this and thought about this? And those are usually the points where you can grow faster. And obviously also very important is that a coach can give you accountability. We all know what we have to do. We all know what we need to do, but most of the times we don't do it. And if there's somebody next to you who can give you a proper support, and that you kind of feel that you have to perform towards, like, I don't want to make this person unhappy, or you invested your money, hey, I don't want to lose my money. That person can hold you accountable and make sure that you actually take the action steps that you need to do.
If somebody wants to work towards becoming a coach, or becoming a better coach, more professional coach, or simply get better results from the people that he or she works with, what would be your top 3 advice for future high-class coach?
So I would probably say that the most important thing that I've learned through coaching, and this isn't just for coaching B-boys. Actually, if you start doing this on B-boys or anybody else that you're coaching, it will also impact the way you interact with your friends, your family, potential clients, employees at work, colleagues, your wife, your spouse, your man. And that is to cultivate the skill of listening. So in order to be a great coach, you have to be able to create a space where the coachee can feel safe. Because only if that person feels safe, they will tell you all the things that you need to hear for them to go to the next level. So the first thing you need to be able to do is, hey, here are a couple of questions. Let me tell you, tell me what it is that you want to achieve, avoid, what are the steps you want to take. Holding that space is an important piece. And the way to do it is by listening. Now, we were at an event recently around coaching the coach, and there was somebody, we were doing some exercises around the questions, and somebody actually gave they said something really great that I think we can all agree with, which is when I gave the idea that, look, all right, here are a couple of questions, give them to start asking the person these questions, and then dig deeper on what it is that they actually want. And the person would tell me, well, when I ask the question, the only thing I can think about is what I'm going to be saying next, rather than sitting down and listening. So most of us have kind of lost this skill of just putting yourself aside, putting your ego aside, and just really listening deeply to what the other person has to say, and then digging deeper into it. So I'd say if you want to be a better coach, talk less. Number 2 is to ask better and deeper questions. So you could say, all right, what do you want to achieve? Or what is it that you want to avoid? And then maybe somebody will say, oh, well, I want to be a top B-boy. I want to win battles. I want to do X, Y, and Z. Let's say they say that. What you could do then is, instead of going deeper or asking better questions, the natural intuitive thing would be, okay, show me how you break. Okay, you need to do power moves. You need some more flips. Your musicality is off. You do blah, 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 and you go straight into already trying to fix the problem. When connected to this deep listening, what helps to create this deep listening and understanding the other person is to ask the right questions and to ask deeper questions. So you might start with, what do you want to achieve? But a question that I use everywhere, all the time, anytime I start talking to a client, especially if they're a higher level client, if they're somebody I admire, or if they have somebody who has achieved a lot of things, I never start talking about myself. I always ask them questions about where they want to go. And a question that I want to introduce that I would say feel free to use, please do so. This is a general question, which is, you might start with, what do you want to achieve? Oh, I want to be a top B-boy, kind of superficial level. But then a deeper question can be, what is the ultimate scenario? Oh, what is the ultimate scenario? It's more than, oh, I want to be a top B-boy. The ultimate scenario is, oh, there's actually something that is the highest level, the highest version of myself. What does that look like? And that makes the person really dig deep into what it is really that I want to achieve, instead of just hitting the surface. So what is the ultimate scenario? Or another variation to this question is, if everything would go perfectly for X. So if everything would go perfectly for your B-boy career, how would it look like? And then giving the space for the other person to talk and digging deeper. If they might say like, oh, well, yeah, I'd like to travel the world, and then I'd like to win big competitions, and I want to be a judge, which is kind of superficial. You might say, okay, what's the ultimate scenario for traveling? And then they'll say, well, I'd like to travel to a different country every single month. I want to go to more cultures. I want to go into amazing events, and I want to enrich my life by meeting a lot of people. If you have all those things, then now, oh, I can actually start, instead of saying, okay, you want to travel, which is kind of superficial. Now that I have all this information I just gave you, now we can start working towards that. Okay, you want to travel once a month? Then let's make a plan. If you want to travel once a month, how much money do you need to make? What events do you want to go to? You were talking about all these events you want to go to. List them to me, and now let's list a one-year plan. Every month you're going to one event. That's just very simply, and the coach is going to be like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. Yeah? But the coach is actually giving structure and giving you a vision. As I said before, a coach is there to give you the vision to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. For tip number 3, I would like to give a very powerful analogy of what I think coaching is. So imagine you have a child, and your child is learning how to walk, your son or your daughter. Has always been crawling, and now it's time to start walking. And imagine a big staircase like this going up. The intuitive way that we would want to teach a child to step on the stairs would be to grab the hand like this, and then one stair at a time, grab the child up the stair, up, 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 until you're all the way up, and it's like, here you go, you're all the way at the top, we're at the first floor. Did the child learn how to coach? Did the child learn how to walk onto the staircase?
No, he was dragged all the way up.
Exactly. And at the end, you're thinking to yourself, I'm such a great parent because I helped the child get all the way at the top. But how do you really teach a child to get on these stairs? The child has to do it him or herself. Grab the sides, get on one stair, and the child will be wobbly. And every time they go up a stair, they're learning and learning, but maybe they'll fall, and you have to be there with the hands to support them. But you need to give them just enough support. If you just give them support like this, then again, they're not doing it themselves. But you have to make sure that you're not giving too little support, but also not too much, just in the middle. Just giving that right amount of support that they can do it themselves. What will happen when we go all the way up the staircase and the child is all the way up? What does the child then think? It thinks, oh, I went all the way up the stairs. And they get the self-confidence instead of you getting the self-confidence. And that's a very important distinction. Now you might say as a coach, well, what do I get out of it then? You get something else. that you need to figure out. But that's true coaching. And to give support with your hand like this, instead, the difference between holding a hand like this and carrying somebody up, or giving just enough with your hand is a big difference. And it's harder for the coach to give the right support. It's actually easy to just grab the hand. Just like it's easy when somebody says, I want to be a top B-boy, and you just, this is what you need to do. Instead of intentionally listening and giving the right advice. So I kind of want to give that analogy to give you a vision of what coaching is, and to keep that in mind when you're coaching somebody. Think, oh, am I grabbing the hand and grabbing them up the stairs, or am I really giving them the space to figure out what it is that they want to do, and just giving that right enough support that at the end of the day they feel like they're doing it and not you. Because a great coach, after 3 months, after 6 months, after 1 year, is not needed anymore. If the coach is there until your entire career and the coachee is always dependent on you, you have failed as a coach. But if you can be there for 3 months, give enough support, and they get the confidence and they go out and they achieve what they want to do, you are an extremely extraordinary coach. Now, obviously, you can have somebody that you really enjoy having a coaching relationship with, and you keep that coach-coachee relationship throughout the entire career, and that's great. But you want to get that perspective of, if I'm not needed anymore, that's how I measure success. Am I teaching enough so that they can do it by themselves? Or am I giving just enough so that they always need to be with me? That's the distinction. And I would like to inspire people to become the coach where you can help somebody, and after X amount of time, the coachee has so much confidence and experience that they can go out in the world and completely do it themselves.
That's beautiful. I'm going to put this stuff to work myself, working as a coach, and hopefully you too, if coach is something that you want to become in the near future. Where to find out more about your work? You have a podcast, you have a speech online and stuff. Can you give a quick heads up on where to find more about Dziri?
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook or Instagram under Alexander Dziri, D-Z-I-R-I. I'm sure you'll put it in the description. And I have a podcast where I release short snippets of what I call raw gems. And you can find that on www.alexanderdziri.com, or if you just Google me, Alexander Dziri, and then you'll get on my site. Or you can find me on iTunes or Spotify, where I will have my podcast.
You're everywhere. Respect. Thank you for coming for the knowledge drop.
Thank you for having me.
And next up, join up my free workshop. Let's continue at bboydojo.com and work on some free footwork.